after what was a great day in trucking, in CDL, in motor vehicle safety, DC court comes out and does everything they can to make sure that that's not the case. Because Drumpf. DC court blocks new rulings limiting immigrants who can get commercial driver's license. The Transportation Department's new restrictions that would severely limit which immigrants can get commercial driver's license to drive a semi-truck, trailer, or bus have been put on hold by a federal appeals court. A DC federal appeals court, it's worth saying. And the reason, I'm just going to go down to the bottom of the article. We'll actually go to CDL Life for this, because they have the reason here, which of course is bureaucratic. The DC court ruled that the federal government did not follow proper procedures in drafting the new rule and did not articulate a satisfactory explanation for how the rule would promote safety, CBS reported. The court cited data from FMCSA showing that immigrants with CDLs are a mere 5% of the country's CDL holders and only 0.2% of fatal crashes. It doesn't matter what the percentages are. It's the fact that you've got people driving with illegal licenses, for one, and two, who can't even understand the signs that they're seeing on the side of the road. I just watched a video just a week and a half ago of a Texas trooper who had pulled over a truck. The driver was virtually naked. The police officer had to tell him to put his clothes on. And then he had him come over for an English proficiency test, which he failed with flying colors. It was hilariously pathetic. And of course then you have a DC court step in and say, no, you didn't dot your I's or your lowercase j's, and make sure that every single thing was proper. What they're saying is that there was no public comment period. Well, my comment would be, make it harsher. We're going to go to an ABC News article about this. Under the new rules, only 10,000 of the 200,000 non-citizens who have commercial driver's license would qualify for them, which would only be available to drivers who have an H-2A, H-2B, or an E-2 visa. H-2A is for temporary agricultural workers, while H-2B is for temporary non-agricultural workers, and E-2 is for people who make substantial investments in U.S. businesses. But the rules won't be enforced retroactively, so the 190,000 drivers would be allowed to keep their commercial driver's license at least until they come up for renewal. So these poor immigrants who can't read what they're driving, what's on the roads anyway, wouldn't be out of a job, is what they're saying. Now, my feeling is, get them the hell off the road. Get them the hell off the road. It's obscene that these people are on the road. And this is just following yesterday, which was, again, a great day for everyone who's on a major highway. U.S. Department of Transportation says 17,000 non-domiciled CDLs issued by California are canceled. Secretary Sean Duffy, California governor and his state were caught red-handed after weeks of claiming they did nothing wrong. Now that we've exposed their lies, 17,000 illegally issued trucking licenses are being revoked. This is just the beginning. California must revoke every illegally issued CDL. And what he goes on to say is, or he's going to cut funding. This is from Gavin Newsom's press office. Lies, cosplay Christie, and Rolls Rule Duffy can't keep their story straight. Fact, Non-citizens are eligible for CDLs. Christy and Sean should know that. Well, now, notice from United States Department of Transportation has been issued to the 17,000 non-domiciled CDL holders that their licenses no longer meet federal requirements and will expire in 60 days. FMCSA requires California to provide its full audit of all its non-domiciled CDLs so the agency can verify that every illegally issued license has been revoked and that failures that allowed these licenses issued are corrected. Again, the threat coming from Sean Duffy is they were going to withhold funding. Up to $600 million, I believe it. No, 160, my apologies. $160 million. That's right here. California has come under intense scrutiny for Duffy for failure to enforce English language proficiency standards and for failure to comply with new restrictions of CDL issuance for non-citizens. Duffy has threatened to withhold $160 million in federal transportation funding to punish the state for failure to comply with the federal ELP and CDL standards, which we just found out cannot be enforced because you did not dot your I's or your lowercase j's. And this article goes through it. Both articles go through it. But the most relevant part is right here. Secretary Duffy said that California and 5 other states had improperly issued commercial driver's license to non-citizens, but California is the only state Duffy has taken action against because it's the first one where an audit was completed. May I suggest that one of the other 5 states is very likely this state. Not sure why I used that picture. That's weird. However, it's very likely that this state is also one of the states issuing illegal CDLs. I don't know this for a 100% fact by any means. And I certainly would never accuse any of our state agencies of anything like that. In a state that has $1.3 billion in fraud already discovered, there's no way that this is a possibility. A number of people I know who have worked for a major trucking company in Minnesota, a major trucking company in Minnesota, have commented many times that in their interactions with their company's drivers, that EPL or English proficiency is very much lacking. Very much lacking. And the vast majority of those drivers that the EPL is a major issue for, the vast majority. Now this company, I am definitely not going to name it, has a tendency to hire people who are from this specific country. And the problems have only gotten worse. And besides this one company that I am speaking of directly, who have many, many, many non-English speaking drivers from certain countries, we know this is a problem nationwide. We know it's a problem nationwide. That these drivers are given these licenses are on the road with you and I. As somebody who drives as much as I do, and I drive tens and tens of thousands of miles a year, the idea of these people on the same road with me is frightening. Is frightening. In that you would have a DC court come out and block what are common sense regulations to keep drivers safe on American roads because you didn't dot your I's or your lowercase j's. A day after that we could all celebrate, that all of us in the United States can celebrate, that California, once again, screwing over as many people as humanly possible because screw you, had to eliminate 17,000 CDLs. I just want to point out here in this article, there we go. Earlier this week, California revoked 17,000 commercial driver's licenses because of the audit problem. Now, the part they don't say is that they also had no intention of revoking those unless their funding was withheld. That's what we're dealing with California. It's a rogue state. I don't give a I don't care what you people think out there. You're a rogue state. So, common sense was once again blocked by the swamp. It's the best thing it can do. Blocks common sense, stifles freedom, takes your money. Just generally makes your life a little bit worse every single day. That's your U.S. government. That's your U.S. court system when it comes to this crap. That's my opinion, and I may not know jack. But what I do know is that getting people off the roads who can't speak English is a good thing. And the fact that some DC court would come out and do that just for bureaucratic BS to stop it just shows where we're at. Ruled by a judiciary. Fortunately, it looks like Congress is going to cement these into law, at which point we'll see where it goes. I'm sure also that a court will come out and try to stop these 17,000 licenses from being restricted in California, because that's the world we live in, where common sense is no longer not only a common virtue, it's a rarity. Thank you.